So all right, gang, I believe price is heading back down. To be honest, I believe, I could be wrong, but we see price making this shooting star pattern on a 1 hour. And lets us know that, as it did before at 0.32 in the past, but when price, wicks above, we see price wicking above as it got up here before 0.5, it wicked at 0.5 one time, two, three, four times, and it headed back down to zero or either 27 extension. Same thing here. It got to it'll wick at it wicked it right here as well. At 1930, and then headed right back down to what? Right back down to zero. Right back from 1930, right back down to 1922. You know, as this is 1930 and this is 1915, and like right between that is 1922. Right between that is 1922. Right between 1930 and 1915, from take profit 11, from take profit 12, 1930 to take profit 11, 1915. In between that is 1922, zero. So, you know, this is the reason why, price got up here and it rejected off of here one time, two, three, four, like five times before heading back down to zero as it did in the past. Now, you could have once price, got right back down to zero, it makes this hammer pattern. If you're looking for buys, you have to wait for price. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for buys, then this will be a higher high. Wait for price to make a higher low, show us a hammer pattern, and then price makes a higher high from 1922 all the way back up to 1932, and you could have got in from 1922 to 1932, boom, right to 0.382 Fibonacci and got out this trade, right? So depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for sales, then obviously, you know, you would look for is price went to 0.5 and then all the way down to 27 extension, making what? A lower low. Made a lower low first here, breaking this trend line, made a lower low, you know, and then price heads up, make what? A lower high back up to 0.5 before what? Making a lower low to 27 extension, making a lower high back up to here 1933 before making a lower low back down to 27 extension. Wait for price to make a lower high. It makes a lower high, a short little lower high at 1930, and then price makes a lower low back down to 1922, then makes a lower high all the way back up to 1934, basically zero point 0.5 Fibonacci 1935, as it did in the past. And as it did in the past, once price makes a lower high back up here, is it made a lower low here, made a lower high up here. Once price makes a lower high, it's going to make a lower low. So you're looking for sales. Wait for price to make a lower high back up to 0.5, and then we can see on a 1 hour right now, price is making a lower low. Right, it could make a lower low. We see a break below take profit 12, 1930 price. Is making a lower low back down to zero. Right back down to zero as it was here before. One time, two, three, four, five times, and it just broke below 1930s at 1929 now. So, if you're looking for sales, wait for price to make a lower high, and you could have entered at 1934, and roll this all the way back down, to 1922. Wait for price to wick above, and then you could have rolled this all the way back down to zero 1922. So it depends what you're looking on, what you're looking at, gang. If you're looking for lower highs and lower lows, or you're looking for um, if you're looking for lower highs and lower lows, that will be a downtrend. Or you're looking for higher highs and higher lows and higher highs, there'll be an uptrend. Some traders are looking for buys. And you could have gotten for a buy in 1922 at zero and rolled all the way up to 1932 and made a couple hundred, 300, 400 right there. And then, once price went to 1934, got out the trade and then entered again for a sell and from 1934 and rolled this all the way back down to zero, 1922. And then eventually price should head back down to 27 extension, 1915. So it depends on what you're looking for. as price is making a what this is a shooting star pattern, as buyers try to push price up and then sellers came and pushed price back down. And now we're heading back down, right back down to zero as it just was at zero. It made a lower low to zero before heading back up. Price probably will make a lower low right back down to zero at least. And then eventually 27 extension, it can go back down to 1915. So depending on what you're looking at, so I just wanted to show you that the overall direction is kind of like in a downtrend. Price, overall can be in a downtrend. It's just kind of like counter trend. This is kind of like counter trend trading, as you're trading against the trend, as the overall trend is kind of in the downtrend. Um, but you could trade as well, like you could trade this as well, from 0 point from 1915 all the way up to 1930. I'm trading that. Once I see price make a hammer pattern, I'm trading that all the way back up to 1930. I'm making a 400. And then, once the price gets to 1930, and starts to show me that it doesn't want to break above 1930, I'm selling that right back down to zero, making an extra 400. Once I see this hammer pattern, and lets us know that price doesn't want to go to 27 extension, I'm buying this right back up to 1932, 1934, getting out this trade, making another 400, and all of this happened in like one day, 2 days, and then and then once price gets wicks up here at 1934, I'm getting out the trade and I'm entering again, and I'm selling this right back down to zero 1922, like and eventually 27 extension. As you can do that game, you know, um, as well. If you want to do that as well, I'm just giving you ideas. If you really want to maximize, but you have to really, really know what price is doing. I know what price likes to do, so I would have probably sold that back down or bought that back up. You know, as before selling this back down. I know the overall direction though. I'm only looking for what? I'm looking for lower highs. We're looking for what? You know, if price was in a lower low, made its first lower low, made the shooting star pattern here, at March 1st at 1950 all the way down to 1930. Made a lower low and then made a lower high back up to 1947. Before breaking this trend line and making a lower low all the way down to 1915. 1914. And then made a lower high. Back up to 1935 and made a lower low back down to 1915. I'm looking for lower highs and lower lows as we're in a downtrend. It started up here at 1950 and made a lower low all the way down to 1931. Made a lower high back up here to 1947 and then eventually made a lower low all the way down to 1915, 27 extension. Made a lower high back up to 1935 and then made a lower low back down to 1915. Made a lower high to 1934 before eventually, making a lower low back down to zero, 1922, what prior eventually making a lower high back up to 1934 before making a lower low. We can see price making a lower low right back down to zero, and then eventually 1915, 27 extension, take profit 11. So overall we are in a downtrend. You know, price started making lower lows right here, and lower highs, and lower lows, and lower highs, and lower lows. So really, is we're really looking for lower highs and lower lows. And price should go back down to 1915, 27 extension sometime. Soon, 6 o'clock. Around 5, 6 o'clock, we should see price heading back down to zero, and then eventually 27 extension. But I'll keep you updated with that game. But that's just my analysts. Everybody trades differently. Just want to give you different some ideas of how what price is doing overall. Overall, price is in a downtrend. And overall price could still be in a downtrend. As yesterday, March 2nd, 2022, price made a lower low all the way down to take profit 11, and it still is this high. If one price breaks above take profit 13, breaking above this black candlestick, then we're in a higher, then we're in an uptrend again. But it hasn't done that. It hasn't done that yet. So next level is take profit 11. We're still in a downtrend. All right, gang. So I hope that helps. Gang.